Author unknown. A cat as blackest coal, is out upon his midnight stroll. His steps are soft, his walk is slow, his eyes are gold, they flash and glow. And so I run, and so I dark, I do not need his black hat.
Nose on Your Face by Jack Prolupsky. Be glad your nose is on your face, not pasted on some other place. For if it were, where it is not, you might dislike your nose a lot. Imagine if your precious nose was sandwiched in between your toes. That clearly would not be a treat, for you'd be forced to smell your feet. Your nose would be a source of dread were it attached atop your head. It soon would drive you to despair, forever tickled by your hair. Within your ear, your nose would be an absolute catastrophe, for when you'd be obliged to sneeze, your brain would rattle from the breeze. Your nose, instead, through thick and thin, remains between your eyes and chin, not pasted on some other place. Be glad your nose is on your face.
Colour by Martin S. When I was born, I was black. When I grow up, I'm black. When I am ill, I'm black. When I go out in the sun, I'm black. When I'm cold, I'm black. When I die, I'm black. But you, when you're born, you're pink. When you grow up, you're white. When you're ill, you're green. When you go out in the sun, you go red. When you're cold, you're blue. When you die, you're purple. And you have the nerve to call me coloured.
Author unknown. School is a daily routine for us. In the morning we're sure to make a fuss, even when the sun is still not up. Here we are, awake at 6 AM sharp. We feel that school is such a bore. We feel that school is such a chore. Parents say, school's great, now go. We say, well, what do you know? Next minute we have to run, eyes half open, shoelaces undone. We reach school and we see our friends. Immediately the torture ends. We have a chat and go with the flow. Then the bell rings, it's time to go. We may at times find school stressful. To have some fun, we have to bend some rules. Talk back to teachers, then detention we serve. No doubt this is sometimes what we deserve. Sometimes air is cold as ice, and other times you're actually really nice. They teach us and give us a helping hand. They're forever ready to listen and be a friend. They have built much confidence in us, just not when they're being really harsh. Over the years of education, never have we had so much learning and action, such as camps, experiments, concerts and activities. We've learned so much and even saved the trees. A wise teacher once said aloud, success is failure turned inside out. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. Rest if you must, but don't you quit. Some may see school as a torture chamber. Some cannot wait for the holidays in December. But it depends on how we live at school. Honestly, positively, school is cool.
Books by Julia Donaldson. About a leaky pirate ship which very nearly sank. A pirate chief who got the blaming hat all plank. The chief sat to an island and went digging with his hook. At last he found a treasure chest and in it was a book. About a girl who Goldilocks and three annoying bears, who cried, who's had all our porridge, who's been sitting on our chairs? They went to the bedroom and baby bear said, look, she's in my bedroom, what is more, she's got my favourite book. About Rowena Redingote, a very well-bred frog, who jumped upon a lily pad and jumped upon a log. Then jumped into a library which stood beside the brook, and when read it, as she jumped upon a book. About an oak tree full of birds, Each bird had built a nest. They had a competition to decide which was the best. They chose it out to judge it, and the winner was a rook, whose nest was lined with pages from its very favorite book. About the biggest birthday cake the world had ever seen. A team of royal cake makers had made it for the queen. The cake was so delicious that the famous spaceman took a slice of it to Jupiter. He also took a look. The Lion, a royal dog. The Lion was the doors to eat a little bread and turned to meat. If you ask the Lion what, as much to 10 horses or the lost, he will not say a roast of lamb or curry beef or liver and ham, or crispy pork or corned beef hash or sausages or Munster mash. Then could it be a big lump hen? He answers no, what's this one then? Oh Lion dear, could I make you happy with a lovely steak? Could I entice you from the lair with rabbit pie or roasted hare? The Lion smiled and shook his head. He came very close and said, the meat I am about to chew is neither steaks or chops, it's you. The ABC by Spike Milligan. It was midnight in the school, and every desk was shut, when suddenly from the alphabet was heard a loud tut-tut. A said to B, I don't like C, his manners are a lack, for all I ever see of C is a semicircular back. I disagree, said D to B, I never found C so, from where I stand he seems to be an uncompleted O. C was vexed, I am much perplexed, you criticise my shape. I'm made like that, to spell cat, cow, cool as a cape. He's right, said E, said F, whoopee, said G, hooray, you're dropping me, roared H to G, don't do it, please, I pray. Get out of my way, LL said to K, I'll make poor, I, look, ill, to stop this stunt, J stood in front, and presto, ill was Jill. You know, said B, that W is twice the age of me, for as a Roman V is 5, I'm half as young as he. X and Y yawned sleepily, look at the time, he said. They all jumped into bed at once, and the last one in that said, I told my cat to clean my room, by Ken Nisbet. I told my cat to clean my room, to use a bucket, brush and broom, to dust my clock and picture frame, to tidy up my toys and games. He puts my pants and shirts away, he makes my bed, and I would say, it seems to me it's only fair, he puts away my underwear. In fact, I think he's got it made. I'm not as happy with our trade. He made me cut my shoes and socks, but I clean out his litter box. The King's Breakfast by A.A. Milne. The King asked the Queen, and the Queen asked the dairymaid, could we have butter for the royal slice of bread? The Queen asked the dairymaid. The dairymaid said, certainly, I'll go and tell the cow now before she goes to bed. The dairymaid, she curtsied and went and told the old maid, don't forget the butter for the royal slice of bread. The old maid said sleepily, well, you better tell His Majesty. Many people nowadays like marmalade instead. The dairymaid said, okay, and went to Her Majesty. She curtsied to the Queen and turned a little red. Excuse me, Your Majesty, for taking the liberty, but marmalade is tasty, if very thickly spread. The Queen said, oh, and went to Her Majesty. His Majesty, talking of the butter for the royal slice of bread. Many people think marmalade is nicer. Would you like to try a little bit of marmalade instead? The King said, bother. Then he said, oh dearie me. The King sobbed, oh dearie me, and went back to bed. Nobody, he whimpered, could call me a fussy man. I only want a little bit of butter for my bread. The Queen said, there, and went to the dairymaid. The dairymaid said, there, and went to the shed. The cow said, there, I didn't really mean it. Here's the milk for his porringer, and the butter for his bread. The Queen took the butter and brought it to His Majesty. The King said,
honestly. Nobody, he said, as he slid down the banisters. Nobody, my darling, could call me a fussy man, but I do like a little bit of butter with my bread.
The inspiration for this poem came from a story my great-granny told me about how she met her husband, Ray. It's called Thoughts. Thoughts like stars on a lonely sky. They come, then flicker, then pass by. They'll sometimes stay, sometimes go. What they'll do you never know. Sometimes they're hate, or love, or care. Sometimes they're lonely and full of despair. Like a dream on a silent sea, full of things that shall never come to me. And as the nights drift stealthily by, and the morning sun that shall never die, I think as I sit in my old chair, in a world where the days of my youth are still there. In the very same chair I was sitting. After my work, I was doing some knitting, when my mother appeared with a lad at the door. We took one look at each other and did no more. He was like the brother that I once had, a humorous, jovial, nice young lad. He was everything I needed, close the wounds that badly bleeded. Yet, never shall I forget that day where he had to move away. It was his work that was the bane, but I knew our paths would cross again. I knew he would want company, but it turned out he was missing me. Now I remember our wedding day,